Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining. Excited to run through all of the agenda for today. And real quick, make sure in the chat at the top there is a link to the attendance badge. So make sure you snag that. Don't want to miss out on getting your on-chain verification that you attended. Yeah, let me get the link there again. Copying it just in case for new people. There you go. All right. Yes, make sure you get it. All right. Now, moving on, we have a big lineup, so let's get cooking. So we'll start out with some DAO operations updates. I don't know if maybe the whole Dev Connect team that was there wants to kind of take turns going through their updates on Dev Connect. If somebody wants to volunteer to kick it off, otherwise I will pick somebody.
I mean, Ceci and Stella were a lot more active than I was, so maybe they should be the ones.
Sure. Since Stella's was having connectivity issues, not sure if 100%, so we'll let Cece go first, and then we'll let Stella follow up. Hey, there's her video. Yeah, go ahead, Cece, take it away. How was Dev Connect for you?
Well, Dev Connect was huge. I was volunteering at Dev Connect, and in fact, I was volunteer lead support. So there was so much going on. We had like 200 plus volunteers and around 20,000 tickets sold. So from that, there were like 14,750 attendees, which is the biggest Dev Connect of all times. So yeah, it was kind of tough, challenging, and but really great to connect with all the communities that were there, that were sharing. There were so many hubs. There were events happening at the same time in different stages, and also in parallel there was the Ethereum World's Fair. So yeah, it was really great, and definitely for Unlock, it was also an opportunity to connect with another projects, another enterprises that were showing up there with booths or maybe participating on some of the talks on these events that were happening. So yeah, many things were going on at the same time, and we were able to connect with some of them, and hopefully we will have some integrations and things going on with those projects. We just need to coordinate a little bit with them, but definitely the tracks are settled, and we're ready to go.
Awesome. That's exciting. That's a lot of people. Yeah, it's impressive. So good work. I know it was a lot of work. I heard that CC was working like three jobs at a time pretty much the whole time. So yeah, everybody owes her a big debt of gratitude for all that hard work. I know that Unlock definitely represented at Dev Connect, and that is pretty huge for us. So yeah, congratulations to everyone who contributed to that. Stella, did you have any other Dev Connect updates that you wanted to throw in?
I can try. If you guys hear me this time. Okay, I will just leave my camera off because we had an earthquake actually today during the marketing meeting here in Peru. It was nothing wild. It always starts in a way where I think, oh, maybe it gets stronger. So I'm always like a little scaredy cat. I run out of the house instantly just because I'm not used to them. Jonathan was like, oh yeah, I'm born here. Like, I don't care. Yeah, there might have been one. So it's a very different reception. Anyways, yeah, there are some additional things I think to look forward to. So I talked with James from Octant. And he said they are also offering like smaller community walls. So that might be something we would want to look into, maybe together with the foundation, because benefits seem to be good on this. And, it seems that essentially you can make your treasury start working for yourself, which we already had some good experiences with in a way with a bond, right? So maybe extending these good experiences to another, novel DeFi mechanism could be interesting. One of the things that I spammed Julian with, by the way. And then I guess from one of the first people that I met at the conference was actually the guys from Burner.pro. And I had a meeting this Monday with Karel, who's he's from Estonia, and he's my friend's little brother, and he's working essentially on a Phoenix Gate NFC scanner app that I talked to you, I guess, months ago. But it's finally coming to fruition because he's been working on it. The Android version already works. What doesn't work yet is the Apple version because, like Julian already pre-warned me, NFC is gated technology, so you have to jump through a lot of different hoops. And we came on Monday, we completed this process, I want to say, to 98%. And then on the last 2%, Apple decided to put some more hoops in there that we couldn't jump. So he's checking on those 2 hoops, but the app is almost done, which means next year, I'm pretty sure Digital Spender Club, as they did during DevConnect, they will run multiple events again, not next year. So I have high hopes on getting a lot of cool memberships minted on Unlock Protocol that will be part of the Burner.pro Digital Spender Club cards. That would be the first of hopefully many collaborations in that way, having essentially phygital memberships through these cards. So yeah, I told them, we had a little bit of a conversation, and they are still pretty excited about it, which is cool. I also spoke to my friend at Digital Spenders Club about funding that app partially, because for now I've been funding it, but as you guys know, I'm now very poor. So I need some help co-funding. So let's see if Bobby and his team can help me out on that so we can finish making that app work. What else? There were some other conversations I've had. I think some of them already mentioned last week. Quickly think. I met Evan first because I went to the event that he was moderating for Polkadot and Web Sub-Zero. So that was on Saturday because I arrived Saturday early morning. I went to that event. Sunday, I went to check out Shifi for the first time. Had a very good conversation, by the way, Ceci, with Monica Talon, who's been also an incremental part of this space for a long time. And she has some ideas on extending, essentially, more innovative types of marketing, I want to say. So we are talking to her about these things. And then I think starting Monday, everything became a blur because it was so hectic going from side event to main event, from main event to side event to individual meetings. So I will try and actually finish what I started writing. I started writing a little recap and then come back with that written recap and inform people about it. Because my brain is still not so up to par, I feel. And then I have other operational updates, but maybe Julian still wants to add something to the conversation. I don't know, maybe he had an exciting meeting at that.
No, I mean, yes, I did have a bunch of meetings at DevConnect. What's the way? A bit frustrated that very few humans use on-chain ticketing, but it was not just on-chain ticketing. If you think about, there's a bunch of vendors on site. Most of them, there is option to pay with crypto, but honestly didn't work well, or I felt like this was yet another missed opportunity on the main event, but also on the side events as well, where people didn't use crypto as much as they should. Really intrigued by the fact that privacy is one of the number one thing that the foundation is trying to push, and I think that's actually a good thing in practice. Users should have the choice on whether to disclose or not their activities, and I think that's something that I think is healthy for the ecosystem. So that was good. In terms of it was amazing dinner with Ceci and Stella and I forgot his name. Damn it, Evan. That was fantastic to have dinner, the four of us. That was good. Buenos Aires is an interesting city. It was my first time there, so obviously, spend a little bit of time looking around. I definitely want to go back. But yeah, no, all in all, it was a good time. Yeah, exactly. Like I think that's that's pretty one of the ways to do that. You're right, Stella.
Yeah, because it's so much work and so much time I've spent in the last year singularly, like hand onboarded people just so they tell me eventually, or they start using, Luma eventually. And just so you know, the event that I fell prey to because my wallet got hacked and drained through a fake event that was posted on Luma, right? It's not like we have an actual filter against someone posting a fake event, I guess. But, at least the process would have been very straightforward. Mint your membership, mint your event ticket on the Unlock website and be done with it. But with Luma events, you are very often guided to external places, right? Like my SheFi ticket, for example, even though SheFi was on, Luma, right? The Aave Rave tickets, they got some selected people that was on, Eventbrite. Okay, both well-known platforms, right? But still. And then it's very often that, some of these events want you to be guided to their Telegram, right? So they send you a separate event ticket or a badge to your email. So I feel, if people would just use a straightforward way to put out their events, it would be certainly helpful, and maybe avoid more people getting hacked, because it seems I have not been the only one in the last few months that got hacked through an event, a fake event. So really, really be wary of this. I've been going 7 years unhacked and it still happened to me. So let this be a fair warning, right? But I wanted to also mention that I'm also talking to James, not just for us to maybe put out a vault on Accents, but specifically to do an integration, especially when the EAS certification stuff is done from the design iconoclast side, to actually provide users of vaults with certifications of using that vault through Unlock. Right, that's the main idea why I came to him and was like, let's go, let's figure something out, and so let's see how that goes. I feel like there's nothing wrong with hand onboarding people. So whenever you feel you have a strong chance to do it, please don't let me discourage you, because some people really stick with it, and they're super happy they found Unlock, and it's definitely worth those few people, right? But like putting all your time and effort into it, I've just learned it's maybe not as much worth as spending a few months kind of convincing a project to integrate Unlock, right? So that on a side note. Sorry.
No, I think it's a good reminder, I guess. We do have to care about the individuals because those are the use cases that help us kind of flesh out the process and find the little bugs in the steps, right? But like you're saying, Stella, these integrations with other larger organizations, that's how Unlock really grows. These individual outreach things are helpful and necessary when they're valuable, but they're not what's going to make Unlock turn into, just a staple in the crypto ecosystem. It's going to be those big integrations with big organizations. So we do have to do both, but it is important to not waste all of your time and energy on a single adoption versus pushing towards larger ecosystem kind of integrations, for sure. I think that's very spot on. It's a balance, right? It's one of those tensegrities, right, Stella, that we talk about so often, right? There's a tension between, really hand-holding the individual and focusing on the process that applies to the organization. I think we do need to do both. I think we're doing a pretty good job. We've done a great job with individual onboarding, I think. Everybody that I've talked to, as I've reached out and shared things Unlock with people, everyone is super impressed with the quality of the onboarding, the documentation. I think that really helps a lot. And that is a result of a lot of hard work onboarding individuals and kind of fleshing out what they need to be able to go through that document and onboard properly. But now that we're at that stage, this is where we need to start leaning into those organizational integrations, right? Because we've done the work, we have the onboarding flow, and we have the documentation. Now we just need to sell the message to the organizations. And I think that, I don't know, one of the things I was thinking about while you were talking about, both Julian mentioned privacy and Stella, you were talking about, security. And I think those two things are related, and Unlock does address both of those concerns in this ecosystem. So that might be an opportunity for somebody in the community to put together some kind of presentation or documentation about how Unlock addresses security and privacy in this space. And maybe we can help other organizations see the value from that lens now that it's starting to pick up a little bit in the, kind of the grander meta. So yeah, just some food for thought for community members, potential ways for you guys to get involved. Thanks, everybody, for the awesome updates on DevConnect. Super excited to hear all that, all the potential new integrations and partnerships. That's what these big events are all about. So good work to the team. And thanks for bringing back those updates. I'm looking forward to your kind of long form roundup as well, Stella. That will be very valuable, I'm sure, to everybody. So we can really sit down and dig through some of the details that you are putting together. So thank you for that. And on that note, we can probably continue on with your other operations updates if you would like to continue going, Stella.
Yes, I want to. Give me a second. I'm trying to mute a Telegram channel. Okay. So there were a few other things that happened during DevConnect that I want to mention here. So one is that nscribe.xyz, I met the founder of that project. And so their biggest thing is naming smart contracts, right? And they currently have an open pool of 10,000 ENS. So it would be nice to cash in on that. Because it would be nice if bit by bit, we as Unlock Protocol DAO could build up a treasury. I'm also, so this is something that I forwarded on Telegram to Julian because, Julian. Yeah, you're hearing. Okay, you're listening. I know you always do multitasking, so I'm just making sure. So anyways, when you can, please respond to me so I can respond to Connor and inform him where to look. Okay. Because I think this would be really cool and important. And I think maybe SRBK, I really don't know how to pronounce his handle or their handle, but maybe you would be interested working on it, and then maybe we can do a revenue split. So let's say we get, I don't know, I have no idea for numbers. Let's say we get 100 ENS. I would say let's share those 100 ENS, with SVRK if he's working on this, make a 50-50 split, 50 split goes to the DAO, 50 split goes to him. Something like that is in my mind, which also brings me to the next thing that I want to plant as a seed in your brains, which is, so something that kind of, I guess is the silver lining of me getting hacked is I had, a bit of money staked in Eigenlayer with that wallet. And Eigenlayer has a 10-day unlock phase. And actually, Eigenlayer generated quite a bit of yield for me over the last year that I did not know about. So it gave me, a little bit of a cushion to restart, to pay Aurelius for his service, and it's not a lot of money, but I was thinking, instead of just having, money in our multi-sig sitting, maybe we should consider staking it on Eigenlayer, to generate yield. Because right now our treasury is just sitting there, except for what we've been doing with 8bond. So my thoughts are, why are we not opting into DeFi mechanisms? I know we cannot really do it directly through Tally, right? Or at least I haven't found any good docs around this. But with the multi-signature,
we should be able to do it from Tally. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to do it from Tally. Outside of they would take fees and if you use a UI, but it could definitely be a proposal. But it could still be a DAO proposal where it's done, in the same way that we do the contract upgrades, and Danny has done a few of these at this point, so I think could look into this, because in the end, it's just calling smart contract, right? The question, though, that is maybe a bigger one is what network? Because if it's, if it's on Base, then it's probably very trivial and easy. I was thinking, it must be on, Ethereum, and then you have to bridge and do things. So
I mean, honestly, the biggest APY you can get right now, after I did some research, because I want to get back to my original state, ideally in the next 3 months. The biggest APY you can get right now is on Solana, right? So it has like 10% and above. It's pretty extractive, but it gives you the biggest APY. I'm sorry. So I think if we want to take it easy and just, let's launch the first testing round kind of sentiment, right? Let's just stake, I don't know, 5,000 USDC for the next year or something like this. I don't know, just like get us started with something, if that makes sense, right? So,
yes. Yeah, I think that's a good idea, and we should definitely start. So, Danny, if you want to look at make your proposal, then again, very similar to how we do the the contract upgrades, right, Danny? You basically create a proposal that creates some bytecode that gets submitted to Tally. There's no reason why you would have to go through multisig. The only reason why you might have to, but I don't think that actually applies to this, is when you're doing something that requires a fixed price or something that fluctuates to be fixed. So when we deposit into a pool, that's when there could be arbitrages, because the amount of token that you get from Uniswap, you have to deposit both two different types of token, and they vary over time. And so between the proposal and the execution, there's 2 weeks, or somehow enough time that this could move too much. So that's why I'm a bit suspicious that you should be able to do it with Tally, because in the context of, if I'm correct, EigenLayer and others, you only deposit a single currency, right? And so this way it's kind of safe.
Yeah, so the thing is, for example, right now we have essentially to make another second payout to the RUMS people eventually. But in the meantime, instead of having that money just sitting in a wallet, we could stake it. That is essentially the thinking, not to do it all through the multisec, but what we are waiting on payouts for, we could stake, right, to generate yield in the meantime until payouts. So maybe it's worth looking into both of them, because obviously we can do larger amounts using Tally, and then, for smaller amounts, we can use, for like interim amounts, generating interim amounts, we could look into how to do it safe. So Danny, if you're up for it, let's do it. And put a proposal together, because I think that would be really good. Then two things, Julian, two more things. I talked to Anupa and Trix are supposed to make their proposal soon. But one of the things they really want to get into is Twitter live streaming. And as we found out, we really cannot do that without being actually the handler of the profile, or one of us being the handler of the profile. So unless you want to start learning how to launch Twitter live streams, we need to find a way to transfer that ownership somehow. I think the most suitable steward for handling that profile is probably Ceci, because she's the chief of marketing. But yeah, we cannot do any streaming, and I think just a lot of visibility gets lost through not being able to directly stream to Twitter, which is a little bit of a bummer, because people are more aware of this on Twitter than they are on YouTube. Although we have grown YouTube by 200 people, so UBIA. But yeah, this is something to think and talk about. Now, delegate accounts don't enable you to live stream. It really fucking sucks. Sorry, pardon my language. And then the other thing I wanted to bring to everyone's attention is that we as in Ceci and I think it's time to have an actual Telegram group. Most, if not all of our users, I know, Julian is his worst nightmare, I know. But so the thing is, right, everyone that we met at Dev Connect, you connect with those people on Telegram. None of them are using Discord anymore, right? and it just gives, easier access also to support. So we have already turned what we started as a support group for the See Her people, See Her DAO people, into essentially a proper channel, because the problem is the current announcement channel cannot be transformed into a proper channel. So we have to sideline, give that one up. Already did the research and sadly not possible. But yeah, this is another thing. I love that Julian did the, screen face when I said that. It's like, wow. But on good note, we should obviously token gate it with Guild. So, that not everyone can just slide in there and really make use of our tech stack. So that's the good news. And the new channel to potentially try. And the last question I had for Julian is a personal one. Please get back to me on that one as well. Thank you. Bye.
Did I miss that message? Maybe. I'm looking at my Telegram messages because Telegram sucks big time. But I don't see any message from you.
Look, so yeah, I sent you so I forwarded you the message from Connor from Nscribe. That I forwarded you on there. And then I sent you a little list of stuff on Discord.
Oh, on Discord. Okay, I was looking at Telegram. I was like, where is this? Okay, yes. Yeah, I can look at this. Yeah, that makes sense. I can look at this for sure.
Okay, I'm done boring people.
I have a proposal as well to make. I don't know if we're done or if, Triggs, you're the...
Yeah, go for it. Take it away.
So obviously, we all know of Stella's hack, and, it sucks. I was thinking maybe there could be some kind of DAO proposal to make sure she gets some up, so at least she can vote on things. That said, we should do this and also hold Stella accountable for putting this not on a hot wallet but on a cold wallet, and do the delegation trick that I told you about, Stella. And I think this is something that I think I can make a video to explain to everyone, how to be safe with your tokens, where you put these, the ownership on the hardware wallet, and, be it pulling one of my hardware wallets here, but a Trezor, a Ledger, or any of these, and then delegate to your hot wallet. So you can still easily vote from a MetaMask or from, something. But if this thing gets compromised, the worst thing these people can do is vote. They cannot actually steal your tokens, and you can very easily, change ownership and then vote again. With a different, wallet, delegation wallet. So I think that would be the way to go. Or, yes, we talked about this style. If you don't want to use the hardware wallet, you can actually do the safe and delegate to the hot wallet. So I'm happy to do kind of little videos on how to do this to explain people. And then hopefully, you all are being safe, either by using a hardware wallet or a multisig, and then delegating to a hot wallet, so that you actually can still very easily do anything you want to do, but don't risk. Very significantly, I shouldn't say don't risk, because there's always a risk, but very, very, very significantly reduce the risk of anything being stolen. But again, I'm going to hold you accountable, Stella, and I would ask you to share your addresses before we do that, Gwen. But I would definitely be in favor and would vote in favor of the DAO taking a little bit of its up and then granting it to Stella, if you guys agree to this as well.
I think that sounds like a great proposal. Yeah, kind of hard to have one of our stewards not have any up.
That, but even yes, and hopefully, I saw Stella in person, and I'm sure she learns the lesson. But yeah, let's make it something that we can all learn for, and so that's why I think doing these little videos can help, and I can definitely spend the time to do that one of these evenings. And as soon as I know that Stella has done the work of using both, a secure wallet, let's call that either a hardware wallet and a hot wallet for votes, then I think we should. I would vote in favor of her getting more tokens.
Yeah, I already made that setup work last week, because I was like, I'm never going to do this again. And now, so the hot wallets are actually spread across 3 devices.
Don't tell.
So it's going to be really hard.
So
who knows which devices? Who knows?
Yeah, but you already said it's 3, and you said it's so safe, and it's like if I was a hacker, I was like, this is a lot of very good information, and I know how many fingers you have. I'm going to get one of these fingers.
Maybe it's 10.
I mean, yes, but you know what I mean. Like, OPSEC, number one thing for you guys: don't disclose publicly. Privately to people that you trust, I think it's okay, but don't disclose publicly on a huddle, on a what kind of security setup you have, as much as possible. This is important. And again, I'm not too worried here about what you said, Stella, but it's a slippery slope. So I'd rather be the jerk that tells everyone than be the shoulder on which you come cry after this. Not like you did this, Stella, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a good reminder because from my experience talking to people, a lot of the higher profile hacks are social hacks because they know that they can't actually hack the person by catching them, so they just learn their social behaviors and they figure out how to get access through the same methods that the person does themselves.
1,000%. Yes, I mean, let's the weak link in the crypto world, cryptography, is always people. It's never machine. It's never software. It is never the blockchain is compromised. Like it's always people. I don't want to say being sloppy because it's not being sloppy, but not necessarily understanding what's going on, having not actually doing the hard work that is sometimes required to get to a safer space. Think about the hack that was, I think, last year or 2 years ago, the safe multisig, where people they were transferring $1 billion and they didn't actually verify because it's really hard to do the message they were signing on a multisig. This was a combination of social and tech, and so we need to be very careful with social things, and so not communicating. I don't know if you do this, but I get maybe 2 or 3 calls a day from Coinbase resetting my account on my phone. At this point, I just blocked them all. But this is the sad reality of our space is there's a lot of people that are trying really hard to hack people, and so if we do a little bit of work, we can get into a much safer space. And the split between ownership and delegation, and voting for this, or even in the context of unlock, right? You have, when there's an NFT, you can be the manager of the key or the owner of the key. And I would definitely recommend for stuff that think is valuable, keep the manager on the hardware wallet, and then the owner on the hot wallet, because the owner cannot transfer. It's only the manager that can transfer. Cool.
Good stuff. Yeah, I love the exploration of security and privacy. I'm glad that these topics keep coming up because they are so crucial for us to really just ingrain into our psyche. It has to become just natural, second nature. I know when I'm walking around, I'm always checking my pocket that has my wallet in. It's just like a subconscious thing I've developed when I'm walking around in the city. I'm always just touching the wallet in my pocket to make sure it's still there because pickpockets are so prevalent and so quick and easy, right? And we have to develop those same mental models for our online presence and our online security. So great reminders for sure.
And also, I want to echo the message that Ceci just posted about the guy who hacked Stella reaching out to her after DevConnect. This is also something that they do a lot of. Is and I don't know if they get access to your Telegram actually, but Stella, if this is the case, then we need to be careful. But oftentimes when they get access to social things, or the first thing they do is DM or direct message to people that interact with the most, to spread the virus, literally. Like, they are viruses, and that's how they spread. And so, if you get a message that sounds a bit suspicious from Stella, I would definitely recommend that you do what we call callback. So you don't necessarily respond in the same channel, but use a different channel with which you've interacted with Stella to see if she actually did send this. So, if you have her email address, maybe send her an email. It's like, hey, Stella, did you just message me on Telegram or a Discord? Did you just message me on Telegram? Or if you get a message on Discord, use maybe email or a phone number if you have this, or maybe go to something completely different like a LinkedIn or an Instagram or Twitter. Do that dial back step of okay, wait, I need to. Don't even tell the person, but reach out to a different channel. If she confirmed it's her, at least you've done the double kind of handshake, and that again increases your level of confidence that it's actually her. buy a lot. If you're still doubting, use a third one. The two-factor auth is this, right? Like when you think about, when you go on some Web2 websites where there's two-factor auth, it's really kind of authentication using two different factors. They say one you own, one you know. And so that's kind of a little healthy, behavior that we can all have. It's not going to solve all of the problems, but it does reduce the risk very, very significantly.
For sure. All right. Well, let's keep cooking along. We've got a couple more things to hit on the agenda. I want to make sure we get through the rest of the marketing updates with CC. I know you've got a couple of things. We've got Metopia and Treasure Corp, and anything else that you have on your list. Feel free to take away with that.
Yeah, sure. So just to point out that during DevConnect, I contacted OffRamp, which is a company with virtual cards like Visa cards, and they have the rails for payments. So that could be also a good way to have an integration to have a way out of Stripe or additional rails more than Stripe. So we are going to have a meeting hopefully this week. It depends on Toby. So I'm waiting on his reply for that. Then on the Metopia collaboration that we launched a little bit earlier than of DevConnect, we are now working on the quests and academia that would be set on their platform for unlock. So we already reviewed in fact, today at the marketing working group call, the draft that Kathy shared us, and we still need to set up some things with them, but definitely it's going well. They already set up a testnet page for us, which is already like live, but obviously we need to feed it with all the quests and academia questions and quizzes for that. So that, and then on just right before DevConnect, we were talking to Treasure Corp, which is a tool that we will be integrating for a better management of our budget and also many other things. So not only the community can see what we are spending on, but also now we will be able to really understand how the budgets are really moving and what expenditures we are having and all that in a much reliable way and much easier way to keep track of those, because as you know, we have many right now, many stewards, and each steward has its own budget. So obviously managing that is it's challenging. So with Treasure Corp, I think we can manage that better. And so we will launch also the collab campaign. Today is going out the post about that, just because we couldn't do it during DevConnect, but now is a great time also, so we can catch on things and continue the work that we were doing before these big events.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for that. And that's exciting. I know budgeting isn't exactly everyone's favorite topic, but having a good budget and having a clear access to understanding a good budget is transformative for an organization. So, I mean, big props to Andrew for continuing to work hard. He let me know for, speaking of budget, he's got the Q1 and Q2 budgets for 2026 just about finalized. They should be ready tomorrow, he said. So that is good moving forward. Stella, you have your hand up. Feel free to go.
What I forgot, I actually, after our DAO call, I have a meeting with Afo from Green Goods, and we're also talking about certification integration with Unlock. I knew that I missed something. So
Awesome. What was the name of that group?
sorry, it's Green Goods coming out of Green Pill Death Guild.
Cool. Exciting. All right. I'm just making sure I got all my notes. All right. Excellent. All kinds of great integration possibilities. I love hearing that. Cool. All right. So we've got marketing updates and finance and resource updates done. We have one last section. I didn't have anything on the agenda, but does maybe Julian or anybody else have, or Danny, have any technology or innovation updates? Anything going on the tech side that people would be interested in? No? Okay. Well, we had a really busy operations month. Oh, Stella. All right. You got your hand up. Go for it.
It's more. No, actually, this is more of a conversation starter with Danny because I think he has a little bit of a backlog because he's been working really hard on the proposal that he suggested for us, P2E Inferno, right? And so just making sure that maybe Danny can give us a little bit of a timeline layout for the things that are still in the backlog of tech stuff. So maybe Danny, you can get back to us in the Steward chat and I don't know, beginning of next week, end of this week, maybe even, and just inform about the timelines that you are seeing for these different things. Sounds good?
Yeah, I'll be definitely able to do that. Sorry, I wasn't able to get to a lot of those things this week. A lot's been going on. My sister just had a baby. I'm actually in the hospital right now. She had a surgery, so a lot of things happening. I just had to step out to speak right now, but maybe by next week should be able to put things together and get to the chat.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to your sister. Hope everyone it recovers well and everyone's happy and healthy. Always exciting times and a very good reason to be busy. So you should, by all means, be focused on that at this moment. Thanks for being here, though, and sharing with us. Just kind of following up with that, I just wanted to update on some of the governance updates from this last month. So as Stella mentioned, the P2E Inferno was approved, and they do have, if you're following along in their forum channel, they have their first deliverable is ready for review. So definitely head over to that. Let me grab a link to that and share it in the chat. But check it out, see what is going on with that. A really interesting project and exciting that they are moving forward. As busy as they are, progress continues on. So make sure you check that out. Let's see, what else did we have going on? We had the community dashboard was delayed. We talked about that last week. So we're going to get a new proposal up in January for that one after Nupa and I meet with the team and we kind of all just get caught up on where everything's at and get a good plan going for next year. Right now we have the payroll vote is live. That is the only current live vote that we have. Looks like it's ready to go. So that one is well on its way, but make sure you put your votes in. And we also had the EAS project approved this month, or last month, I guess, since it's December now. But we're going to have to coordinate with Design Iconoclast to repost that proposal because he forgot to put in the payload. So he did not actually get the transfer of funds, even though the DAO approved the transfer of funds. So we'll run that one through again. So be looking for that coming through sometime this month, probably. And that's pretty much it for live governance votes that are cooking. I had two other topics that I wanted to make sure we bring up before we check around and make sure everybody else doesn't have any. Oh, Stella, you got your hand up. Let you go first.
Yeah, just quickly. So I know a lot of people still have their tokens delegated to me on my compromised wallet. This is actually a fantastic chance to self-delegate those tokens, right? I cannot say this enough. I'm actually not eager to get so much delegation, even though I really know why you're doing this and I appreciate that, of course. But this is a great chance to self-delegate. So undelegate from my compromised wallet, which ends in 2-3. And self-delegate it to your own wallet. It's really worth it. You're the owner of a piece of technology that's incredibly long lasting and run by a community. So make use of that. And our proposals have become extremely concise. You could still run them through AI if you would want to, but there's actually not a good reason to not vote on stuff. And yeah, on the payroll, please vote for it because I can't. Right?
Quick note, Stella. I think you can see who delegated to you. I don't know if you've done this, but yeah, I think you can. Okay. On Tally, actually, they should show you that. I mean, to the old address.
Yeah.
And so feel free to kind of, don't say necessarily, what's your word for this?
Like copy paste the wallet and poke people essentially, or
poke
see
people,
if they have.
Poke people, and then there's a not show and tell, but like name and shame. I mean, it's maybe a bit strong for this, but pointing people like, hey, your wallet is still delegating to me. Feel free to do that on the public channels as well, like on the Discord.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
I think,
but also please vote for the payroll.
Yeah, okay? For sure. No, it's not an or, right? It's an and. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. It's a good encouragement for people to get their self-delegation going and get voting. I want to encourage everybody also, if you ever feel unsure about a governance proposal, by all means, reach out to me. I know I'm not officially, Anoop and I haven't officially gotten voted in as governance stewards, but this is something that I am passionate about. So if you have questions about governance, let me know so that I can help make it less confusing or less intimidating, because we want this to be as accessible as possible for everyone. And I have to say, it is very validating and rewarding seeing your name pop up on governance proposals as having participated. It really is. Maybe it doesn't seem like it's an important thing, but it truly is. And as this organization continues to grow and as we make governance more engaging and interesting, being a part of that process is going to be fulfilling for all of us. So very strong encouragement to listen to the recommendations of your stewards and get out there and self-delegate and reach out to me and tell me what you like and don't like about the process, because we want to make it better by all means. So yeah. All right. And so one note, kind of a housekeeping thing that Anupa and I've been talking about. So you may have noticed she doesn't regularly attend these DAO calls, and she would like to, but they are at a very difficult time for her because of the time zone that she's in. And I think a lot of people in that section of the world are probably in a similar boat. So we've been chatting about maybe seeing if we could get even just one of the DAO calls throughout the month. Probably not this monthly one, right? This one's pretty big and set. But one of the other calls throughout the month, maybe we could run it at a different time, either earlier or later or something, to try to accommodate for different time zones. So I will get a forum post going on that. We can start hashing that out and kind of see what works for people and see if we can get a better time. And so just a warning to keep your eyes peeled. And if you're listening to the recording and you would love to have your say in what times work for you so that you can attend, make sure you keep a lookout on the DAO forums for that post and let us know what times you would prefer, because we want to make sure that everyone has an equal opportunity to participate in these calls. So, good call, CC. Yeah, the community bot could be really useful for that. So we'll get that cooking, and hopefully we can get some more accessibility for people in the DAO calls. And then my final bit, we got 5 minutes left before we are at the hour. I mentioned it last week, but we are continuing to work on our plans for the holiday karaoke event. So if you heard that, we're still working on the plans. We've got Jose Cabrera. I don't know if anybody is familiar with him, but he's been out there playing music for us crypto nerds for quite a while, many years. And so he is going to be there co-hosting to help with his musical talents to make it fun and engaging for everyone. Everyone is encouraged to bring a song, to make sure you have like a YouTube link or something that you can share. We can screen share it and you can sing along. If you're uncomfortable singing by yourself, we can get team ups together. And Jose has volunteered to team up with anybody who would like an accompaniment for their their songs, so you don't have to do it alone. It is a group event, but if you would like to sing your song by yourself, by all means, be encouraged to do so as well. So just a little bit teaser for some holiday fun coming up. Hopefully everybody can participate. We will get a forum post. We got to meet with a couple people and kind of chat about some details, and then we'll get a forum post going so that everyone can participate in the planning to make sure everyone can. It's as accessible as possible. Once again, it's challenging to have a single event hit every time zone, but we'll do our best to make sure everyone who wants to attend has the ability to. So that's the updates from me. Any other final words or input or any closing comments from the panel that anyone would like to share? Man, I think we covered it all.
Hectic month, so many things going on, and many other things to come in this next month. And yeah, I'm really excited for new things coming, and all the work that the DAO has done. This is, I think, like reflecting from our job and our work and contributions from the community and DAO members that also we have been receiving like consistent contributions for content, for example. It's really impressive, and I think it's also a great example for many other DAOs to see and experiment with that. So yeah, really grateful to be here and sharing this spot with everyone. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Cece. Yes, it's a great time of year to ruminate on what we are grateful for, and having an amazing community like this and an amazing protocol that is put in so much time and so many people have put in time and effort to. We are very fortunate to have a leadership panel like Unlock has. It's hard to find in crypto, surprisingly, sadly. Somehow Unlock had the magic formula to suck in all the best leadership people in the ecosystem. So I'm very grateful to now be a part of this community as well, because good leadership builds good communities. So thank you, everybody, for all your hard work. And that pretty much wraps it up for this week's DAO Call. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Lots of fun stuff. We will get the newsletter out as soon as we can, and the recording will be there for everybody who wasn't able to make it. And beyond that, we will see you next week.
Bye, everybody, and thanks, Triggs. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.